The euro currency has a big move higher, trading up to as high as 111.44 today, before backing off and settling closer to 110.25. But that high is the highest we've seen since going back to September of last year. So we not only a new year-to-date high, but the highest we've seen since prior. And ultimately, the bigger news in the trade today was the range. We saw the widest trading range since going back to June 24th of 2016. Yeah, you got to go all the way back to Brexit. Last time we saw a range this wide, and all this coming on the heels of President Trump's announcement of trade and tariffs, ultimately prompting a big decline in the dollar, which propped up the euro again. Euro has been moving higher since going back to early March, but a lot of that more based on central bank policies. But ultimately now we're seeing a big move higher continue and a spike, again, up to as high as 111.44 today before backing off and closing at 110.24. Still higher on the day, and again, the widest trading range since Brexit. Now, what does this all mean for volatility? Well, check out that CVOL index over at cmegroup.com, and you'll see that volatility in the euro, as in most asset classes today, spiked higher. We saw the euro get to match its high from earlier in the year back in January, but prior to that, you got to go all the way back to 2023, March of 2023, the last time we saw volatility this high. Lastly, let's talk about tomorrow. What do we have to close out the week after what we saw today? Well, we get the first real look of data for March. That is the non-farm payroll number that we'll get, which will certainly have Fed policy implications. And then after that, a few hours later, we'll get to hear directly from the Fed chair, who will not only have to deal with the Fed number that just came out at hand, but also a lot of the market disruptions that we saw this week as risk assets went lower and riskless assets benefited, but dollar moving lower and the euro moving higher obviously will be part of the conversation. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Fed chair has to say after all that has transpired this week. So the euro continues its move higher, makes its highest print since going back to September of 2024 before backing off and closing at 110.24 ahead of tomorrow's non-farm payroll and Fed Chair Powell.